Talk to a guy right now that's hung on the fence about, you know, I don't want to do VGT anymore. Not only is VGT where we are right now, and I don't know that you can say it's the future, but as far as drivability of these engines, the horsepowers that we're reaching is, you know, and the horsepowers that they come off, that they roll off the assembly line with, you know, VGT is an integral part of that, not only with because of the emissions, but talk to that guy about VGT. You know what I mean? Just say,
there's
hey,
pluses and minuses to it.
Yeah, of
Anyone
course.
that says everything's better in every way all the time, it's not true. There's always going to be some sort of tipping point where bigger or smaller, VGT, non-VGT. Let's talk about the negatives of the VGT.
Okay.
There's limits.
Yeah.
You're not making 1,500 horsepower fuel only with a drop-in VGT. It's just not going to happen.
Yep.
You're not doing that with an S300 turbo either. You're going to do S400, GT50, GT55. Well, there are limits. All right, well, where are most guys at? I feel like most guys are still in the, 7.3, you're talking 400 to 500, 6.0, 500 to 600,
Yep.
maybe 6.7, 6 to 650, but most guys fall under the 650 mark. And in that range, there are a lot of benefits to the VGT. You got the exhaust brake on some platforms, you got the quicker spool up, you've got the less smoke output. That doesn't bother everyone, but I don't like rolling coal everywhere I go. I like a quick spooling, fast truck, responsive, off the line. Well, no matter which way you slice it, if you spec both turbos properly and have good turbos, good turbo designs from each, the VGT is going to spool faster, and in many instances make similar, if not more power, when they're smaller.
Yep.
The bigger you go, the more benefits you're going to see from some of those non-VGT turbos. And what I tell people is in the 500 to 600 horsepower range, you are getting all negatives by going to a non-VGT. Anyone that's actually tested it will tell you that's the truth. There's I'm going to get a lot of hate in the comments, I already know this. Yeah. There's the non-VGT fanboys. Oh no, mine spool's just like stock. Yeah. Those guys, I've had people on those things with big turbos, S476, 369. Oh yeah, mine spool's just like stock and I tow. And then they send you a private message. Hey man, I can't tow with my truck anymore. It's too hard, it smokes too much, it downshifts too much. I think people put on a front online because it's cool, maybe. And then behind the scenes, a lot of them often end up back with a VGT or a smaller turbo. If you stay smaller with a non-VGT, it's not as bad, but you're not making more power.
Yeah.
You spec them the same, you put them on there, the VGT is going to have that edge in the spool up department. And for me, that's what I care about. I also have a Whipple Coyote F-150, regular cab short bed. There's a reason it's a Whipple. People say there's no turbo lag, but there is. Yeah. I like that instant throttle response. I like rolling around a corner, being able to just roast my tires, no smoke, and go fast. Yeah. You start losing that with a non-VGT the bigger you go. So that's how I feel about it. I mean, what's been your experience?
It's the same way. Being around this, going, you know, it looks like we've been at the pinnacle of race trucks and whatnot. When I'm setting it up for myself, I'm setting it up with that 550. Just drives excellent, almost instant boost. It's the damn thing is making 5 pounds of boost before you even start it. You know what I mean? And that's what I want instant throttle response and then instant boost too. So I'm with you. I'm with you. And it's funny with the VGT guys that are coming out of it, how many of them, and I know this is going to sound just blatantly stupid, but there are so many guys that will call in here and they're talking about, hey, they want to get away from the VGT turbo. You know, there's not a whole lot we can do for you in that, that department, but they've got to keep that exhaust brake. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to live without the exhaust brake. Well, man,
the exhaust brake makes a big difference.
It makes a big difference.
You're just electronically controlling the turbo, so there's a lot of things you can do. You can adjust spool up, top end power, limit top end power. VGT is kind of like having a built-in wastegate, built-in exhaust brake, and adjustable tuning for it. So it offers a lot of variability when it comes to that. Maybe one of the downsides we didn't talk about earlier is you got to maintain your truck with a VGT turbo. In the 6.0 specifically, a lot of guys maybe have an EVP sensor problem or the wiring of the VGT sensor's bad. And like, oh, I'll just non-VGT swap it. Oh, I'll just make it drive like garbage because I can't get this to run right. There's a certain amount of people that do that, and a lot of people love the sound. That's a love-hate relationship. I like the sound of a whistly turbo. The non-VGT is more like a rumble, but I don't know. For all my personal trucks, I've gone both. Back and forth. I always end up back with the VGT turbo person.
Exactly. And that comes right back down to drivability. You're not doing it because of reliability, you're doing it because of drivability.
Yeah, anyone that said they had a modern VGT turbo and it spooled like garbage, there's something wrong with your truck.
That's right.
There's too many people that have gone back and forth, dynoed it, tested it, towed with it, unless you're doing a giant VGT, which they have inherent problems when you go too big. But that 500 to 600 horsepower range, it's tough to change away.